I want to talk with you today about something that's on a lot of people's minds, I think, probably in the news, and that's the topic of cryptocurrencies. If you follow the news at all, you know that just here in the last couple of days, there's basically been what's been called in the press a cryptocurrency bloodbath. Some are calling this the crypto winter. They're calling this the cryptocurrency meltdown. And if you have money in cryptocurrencies, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And I'm sorry that this is happening if you're invested in cryptocurrencies. They're saying that cryptocurrency right now seems to be in a death spiral. About $200 billion has been wiped off the books in one day in cryptocurrency markets. There's a lot of headlines out there. You can get online and see these. One that I read, it says Tether and Luna. These are a couple of these cryptocurrencies. Their plunge could lead to a global crypto regulators. There's another article in the Daily Mail that says the cryptocurrency bubble bursts, but is it a sign of stock market crash to come? There are all kinds of memes that are showing up everywhere where people have, HODL, which is hold on for dear life. Basically, people have lost really all their money. Many people have in these cryptocurrencies. The Daily Mail says this: digital investors lose fortunes as Ethereum sheds 20% of its value in 24 hours. Luna, this is another cryptocurrency, drops 98%. And by the way, today, as of today when I'm doing this, Luna has basically dropped to zero. It's basically worthless. And there's other one named Terra that has dropped dramatically as well. So basically Luna, there's a total wipeout. Another one called Terra has fallen 99%. And to show you kind of how dramatic this is, the wife of Luna's founder is seeking police protection. People have tried to break into their house and harm them because they're so upset over what's happening. People online are talking about they've lost everything in this. There are people that are, threatening suicide. It kind of is reminiscent of the stock market crash, back that spawned the Great Depression. As people have lost everything they've had, people say, I'm going to be homeless, because of this. Bitcoin, of course, is kind of the original one of these cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin was founded in 2009, and of course, hundreds of these cryptocurrencies have come online since that time. But Bitcoin's lost about 50% of its value over the past 6 months. The world's second largest cryptocurrency after Bitcoin is Ethereum. And as I said a few moments ago, it's down about 20%. So everybody's wondering, why is this happening? Is this kind of a sign of things to come on the stock market? Most of the people I've read basically just say it's kind of like with everything else. It's rising inflation and rising interest rates that are driving down the cost and the price of these cryptocurrencies. The cryptocurrencies, if you don't really know what they are, they're kind of complicated, I think. I'm sure there's people who have them figured out. I know Warren Buffett, the sage from Omaha, he says he doesn't even understand cryptocurrencies. So if he doesn't understand it, I don't feel badly that I don't understand it either. But basically, one article says this: cryptocurrencies are a form of digital money that uses mathematics to create a unique piece of code that customers invest in. So Bitcoin, again, was the original digital currency starting in 2009. And really, what makes cryptocurrencies attractive to a lot of people is they bypass central banks and governments. They're popular because they remove the role of central banks and governments from the supply of money. So basically, cryptocurrency is a decentralized digital currency. And so that's one of the things that really makes it attractive to investors. People don't want government control over their money. That's made it popular. Now, countries or nations are coming out with central bank digital currencies that are controlled by their government. I mentioned this a few weeks ago in one of our videos that on March the 9th, President Biden issued an order for the Department of Treasury and others to look into establishing a digital dollar. And of course, the digital dollar then can be tracked and traced. It's programmable, but people want to get out of that and they want to be in these cryptocurrencies. Now, the problem is with what's happening now with these cryptocurrencies, again, this is a very predictable thing, is that the government now has moved in and is wanting to take control over these cryptocurrencies. So when this kind of disaster takes place, immediately people want to move in and begin to regulate and take control. So one of the articles says this. It says, on Thursday, the chair of an international financial watchdog, said that he expects there'll be a global cryptocurrency regulatory body within the next year. In light of recent panicked freefall of multiple stable coins, they say we probably need one. I would not expect that to be the case the same time next year. I think a lack of regulation is bound to change, said the International Organization of Securities Commissions. Ashley Alder that further explained that another international watchdog group, the Financial Stability Board, is already working on policies surrounding unbacked crypto, and that the Bank of England is considering stable coin regulation. So again, what they're looking to do now is bring in global crypto regulators to regulate all these cryptocurrencies. Another article that I read says this. It says, earlier this week, U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen also independently called for an urgent regulatory framework to manage stable coins. I'm highlighting the plight of Terra and Luna. In the testimony before the Senate Banking Committee, Yellen and Republican Senator Pat Toomey further talked about getting regulations passed before the end of 2022. So again, it is really predictable in any situation like that in our world today. Whenever there's a crisis, there always is a move for greater government control. There's kind of a cycle or a pattern that we can see here that happens in our world today. There's calm, and then there's some crisis that takes place. And then after the crisis takes place, there's chaos. And out of the chaos comes greater government control. It's a cycle that we're seeing played out over and over again. And I think this is paving the way for ultimately the global economy, the global government of the final Antichrist. Think about this is exactly what happened with COVID. There was calm, then there's this crisis with COVID, there's chaos, and the government moves in with all kinds of controls of masks and mandates and lockdowns and vaccines and all kinds of things that are placed upon people. I think one of the things one of the areas this is going to happen in, it's happening now, but it's going to ramp up dramatically is climate change. But, people are saying, there's this crisis, the world's going to end in 10 or 15 years, and it's going to be irreversible. We've got to have to do something now. And so there's this chaos, and so government control will come in. Again, they're going to tell you what kind of car you can drive, how many miles you can drive. They're going to tell you how much meat you can eat because of the methane that are given off by cattle. So it's going to be a government control over people's lives. Again, it's going to be based upon this perceived crisis of this global climate change. So we saw it with COVID. We're seeing it with climate change, and now we're seeing the same thing with cryptocurrencies. Again, the answer to every crisis that comes along always now is greater, more government control. And so what I think is going to take place is they're going to put a lot more government control on these cryptocurrencies because governments really don't like these cryptocurrencies. Those who want to control everything, the great resetters, they don't want these decentralized cryptocurrencies. They want central bank digital currencies that are issued by governments that can be controlled, that can be tracked, that can be traced, and that are programmable, that can even tell you where you can spend it. So all of this greater control that we're seeing take place now with cryptocurrencies, again, is a part of this movement towards, I think, a global economy. Because for the global economy of the Antichrist to come in place where no one can buy or sell without the mark of the beast, they're going to have complete control of the world economy. And the only way you can have control of the economy is if there's no cash, and ultimately if there's no cryptocurrency, which is decentralized. It's all going to have to be this central bank digital currency that they can take over and control. So this is just another evidence really that we see here with this crisis in cryptocurrency. And again, I have no idea where this will go, whether it will correct itself, but some of these cryptocurrencies seem to be finished, if their value at this point in time is zero. But we're continuing to see this government control and this march really towards the global economy of the Antichrist that's predicted in Revelation chapter 13. The way the world is today with the volatility, we're seeing this now with the stock market going down. Everybody's wondering where's the bottom going to be this time. We see a global volatile economic system that's going to require, at least it's going to be perceived to be required, more and more control by governments over what's happening. And so this is just another evidence of that. There's a crisis, and then there's control. Well, it's all heading towards what the Bible predicts for the end times, which again should give us a hope each day, a living hope, a vibrant hope, that today could be the day that Jesus comes. Perhaps today could be the day that our Lord Jesus comes again. We need to live in light of that and be ready. Well, thank you again, as always, for watching this video. God bless you, and I look forward to seeing you next time.
I want to thank you for watching this Tipping Point clip, and I want you to subscribe to the channel. I want you, if you're not a subscriber, go ahead and click subscribe there. And thank you for watching and subscribing. I want you to join our Tipping Point community at endtimes.com. For $7 a month, you can subscribe, and you have a 7-day free trial. So if you just want to check it out for 7 days, go on endtimes.com, check us out for 7 days, but I can promise you, you're going to love the content. You're going to be getting the Tipping Point show, the full show, every single week, as well as articles and video content from great teachers like Greg Laurie and Mark Hitchcock, and of course myself. Be sure to subscribe to be notified when we release more videos like this. God bless you.